Hi, I am here with Banke, president of Wise Data Consulting, and a recent graduate of the Resilient Transformation Academy who has had amazing results. Banke, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here to share your transformation.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. It's an honor to be able to share my experience.
Yes, thank you so much. And you had such a beautiful transformation when you came into this academy. I remember you were facing a lot of things. So I'd love for you to just share with the audience, what were you feeling before you came into the Resilient Transformation Academy? What were you facing?
I was in a place of overwhelm. It was probably the most stressful time of my life. It was a great time because a lot of good things were happening, but it was also very stressful, and I was in overwhelm. I was overworked. I was just uh, there was a lot of things on my plate. I have a baby, and my schedule increased at work, my responsibilities increased, my responsibilities at home increased, and I was just in a place where I didn't feel like I could keep up with anything. And so that's when somehow I found you. And I read it. I don't even know if I was conscious during that time because I was so overwhelmed. I was so tired. I remember having a conversation with you and you just making me feel at ease, and I was excited to join the program. And if you remember, I was all over the place in the beginning when you met me. I mean, even just getting a place to have a Zoom call, sometimes I was in bed with my baby doing the Zoom calls with you, because that was just the most, sometimes it was just the most convenient place to get things done. So it was just a very scattered time in my life.
Yeah, and feeling that amount of overwhelm and stress, would you say that you were burned out?
I was. Oh yeah. I was burned out.
And
I never experienced burnout before I read about it. And, of course, the quiet quitting and burnout, they're buzzwords. And I didn't know it until I experienced it. I was out of gas.
did you find that it was affecting your sleep? Was it affecting your productivity and the way that you thought about things? Like, how did that really affect you?
I was at a point where I couldn't think clearly. It My sleep was already affected. Having a baby, you just don't sleep as much as you would like to. So that was there, but it was just feeling like I couldn't function well. I sometimes would look at emails at work and I wasn't reading them. I literally was just staring at the words on the screen.
Yeah, it's like our brains don't work because we're so burnt out and we're just tired and we desire that rest. Did you find that you were just tired and that your brain just wasn't functioning the way that you wanted it to function?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. And it was just a struggle. It's almost like you're trying to control the situation, but you have no control, and it's like watching a train wreck.
And what did you tried in the past to overcome this? Did you do any traditional techniques like changing your diet, changing your exercise, maybe even medication? What have you tried that maybe didn't work in the past, even binge watching Netflix or things like that?
I I tried therapy, and therapy was great for what it was, but it wasn't moving me forward. It made me feel okay, and I look forward to the next therapy session, but it wasn't really moving my personal life forward in the way that I wanted to move forward.
Well, you had some really, really amazing results in this academy. And so, what was different about what you did here than anything else that you had tried before?
What was different for me was being able to connect with my body. I think a lot of times everything else I'd done was trying to connect with my mind, but I didn't have that mind body connection. And this program, Resilience Transformation Academy, helped me realize that my breathing, my breath, and all those, just my physiology is a big part of how I feel. and then of course my thoughts. But just no one really goes into those areas of your life. I think every other kind of therapy or coaching touches on the surface, but this goes deep into just almost that cellular level of who I am, and that's what I found to be very different for me with this.
When when you started connecting with that, you said you were connecting with your body in a whole different way and you were practicing these specific techniques. What did you start to notice as the difference when you practice these techniques? What benefits did they give you?
I was able to calm myself down when I was in those frazzled moments. I also was able to, heart focused breathing has been my go to. Just being able to take a deep breath and continuously take those deep breaths and really calm myself down and have clarity in my mind. One of the things that happened when I was stressed out was I couldn't think clearly, I couldn't make good decisions. And whenever I'm in that space, I can just drop down into my heart and do those heart focused breathing and then get my answer and my clarity.
Wow. So getting your answer and your clarity, people might be listening to this going, man, I feel burnt out. I'm tired. I'm stressed. And hearing what you're saying is they might be saying, well, how quickly did this happen? Like, did you have to practice 2 hours a day? Did it take you 4 months to achieve this? Or did you start to feel this right away as soon as you came into the academy?
I felt it right away. And as you know, because I'm so busy, I didn't even probably put as much in as I wanted to. But even the time that I was able to put into it, I saw a difference in how I thought, how I made decisions, and how I got through those tough moments. So, um, even with minimal effort, I feel like I still felt a transformation inside me.
Wow. And it happened that fast.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how much time did you put into it to actually activate this and to get it to work?
Uh, I don't know if I know how much time I put into it. I would do things in the middle of the night sometimes because that was when I had free time and peace of mind. So what was great about this was I could do the practice at any time of the day, and especially with the frazzled and consistent life sometimes and just being burning the candle on both ends, it was nice to be able to do this in the middle of the night. So it didn't take very long. um, and it was just that I wish I could have been more consistent. I think I would have experienced so much more, but even what I've experienced has been very transformational for me.
Well, and in that transformation, have you noticed that your brain is working better? Do you have an increased level of confidence? Are you producing more? What's happening specifically?
I've been able to make some big decisions in my life. In the middle of my overwhelm, in the middle of my burnout, I was able to clearly make a decision and not feel afraid and not feel, um, I don't know, I guess just not feel afraid. I think that fear is the emotion that I tend to go to or tended to go to. But this program allowed me to be able to go inside myself, make that decision, and have it feel good, even though it was a big, difficult decision.
And when you say have it feel good, it sounds like you've stepped into your confidence in a whole new way, letting go of the fear and stepping into what you knew was your destiny and what your goal was. And you face that with a lot more confidence. And do you want to share what you've actually done since the time that we've been together?
Well, I was able to I made the decision to leave my employment and became an entrepreneur. I've been grappling with the decision for a long time, and that burnout just really made me realize I had to make a decision. And being in the program, I was able to make that decision from a peaceful place. rather than from a scared, stressed out place, or continue to stay in that stressful place. I was able to go in and I felt like I heard exactly what I needed to do. And
Wow.
it was only because of being in the program. I don't think I'd heard things with clarity like that in a long time.
You heard exactly what you were supposed to do. Now, a lot of times we talk about the difference between hearing with our head and hearing with our heart. So, were you hearing it from here or were you hearing it from here?
Definitely from my heart.
We,
Definitely from my heart and not from my head, because my head goes into fear and overwhelm and stress. My heart is peaceful, and whenever I can make a decision from that place, I know it's the right decision. It doesn't mean that fear doesn't creep up every now and then, but I'm confident that I made the right decision for myself.
wow. And how are you going to use this practice going forward? You've launched your company. You know you're very capable at what you're doing. And of course, as entrepreneurs, the road can go up and down and we can have that fear. But how are you going to use what you learned in this academy to really navigate your success and stay on target for where you choose to be?
I use it every day now. Um, Part of what I've learned also recently is just to, like you said, that go into my heart, drop into my heart, and make decisions from there, and also be kind to myself. Because when I'm in my head, I'm not kind to myself. But when I'm in my heart, I can make the right decisions. I can take action and move forward. And that's really, when you're starting a business, it's like a crash course in everything challenging, and it's like an MBA that you're getting in a short period of time. And I am able um, to face my challenges and face the newness of everything with confidence and with peace, and being able to go to green light language and being able to speak positively and being in a place of joy. As you know, joy is something that resonates with me, and just being able to tap into joy has been great.
Wow. Anytime, anywhere, right? It's always available for you and you can tap into it anytime. I remember that was one of the biggest things that you desired to get out of this program is to feel more joy. And would you say, like, when you look at the joy, the amount of joy that you were feeling before you came into the program, kind of being the victim of the circumstances and not having these tools to what you have now, what's the percent of difference of the time that you were in joy to the time that you spend in joy now?
I'm conscious about going into joy now. So I would say I mean 80% easier for me to tap into joy. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, whenever I'm stressed out, my brain knows to tell me, okay, take a deep breath, or use green light, use positive language, and just I'm able to stay the course. I think that's one thing I feel. I'm staying the course, and yeah, that's probably one of my biggest transformations. I don't feel like I don't have answers when I'm in the middle of
So
overwhelm.
incredible. I love how you started this when you said that you understood now how to be in your body and work with your body. As you're sharing this, it's like you can tap into joy anytime you choose by making the choice, right, with your conscious mind, but you've learned the tools by making that choice. Then how do I get my brain and my body to work for me in alignment for what my goals and my desires are? So can you explain a little bit more of how are you getting your brain and body to work for you instead of against you or being at the victim of your circumstances?
I feel more in control, and I know that I'm in control. I think one of the things I've learned, especially from the group sessions, is just that interaction with other people and hearing that everyone has what they're overcoming, and just being able to do the practice. You can think differently, see things differently. So that's one thing that I I tap into now.
being at the control of your conscious mind and making those conscious decisions, and then being able to work together inside mind and body to make it work.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's still a process for me because I've been in my head for so long, but I just know this is a lifelong practice for me, so I'm not feeling like I'm not where I should be. I'm where I should be, and I'm moving forward, and I know I can teach this to my daughter as well, when she gets to the age where she can.
That's it. It's once you learn it, it's the gift that keeps on giving, because now you have this and you don't need anything from the outside. You know, we've been taught so much that if we have stress or anxiety or overwhelm, we need to go do something like exercise or eat differently, or, go for an art class or therapy. But what I'm really hearing you say is, I don't have to go do anything. I do it all in here from inside of me. And when I have control over that, then it's almost as though you are not a victim of circumstances or your environment. You can become that joyful person in the midst of overwhelm, in the midst of an environment that can be stressful. You're self regulating here, which changes your perception of what's happening on the outside.
Yes, I think one thing that resonates with me is, or my brain, well, my that keeps coming to my mind is, you have the answers within you. You have the answers within you. And that's something that I don't think I've ever been in that place where my inner voice will just tell me that I have the answers within me. Like you said, I'm always doing things on the outside and looking to people to give me my answers. And now I can feel more confident that I have the answers within
Yes, beautiful. And we all do. It's just a matter of getting out of our own way to get to those answers and being
me. Yeah.
able to calm the mind and the body down to be able to really hear those answers, because they are inside of us. We all have the capability. So, how are you going to use this moving forward?
I'm using it every day. I'm using it to get through this period of being new at running my own business. There's a lot to learn, and at every step, there's stress lurking. And I use it just to move through and just push through to the next step and the next step and the next level. So that's how I'm using it. And I wake up in the middle of the night, because, I just wake up having a baby, and I just do my heart focused breathing. Or when I'm holding her, I do it so I can kind of, transfer that calmness to her as well.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Mom and baby, and you transferring that calmness to her, as we've studied inside this curriculum, that we affect other people around us through our Taurus field. And when we're conscious and aware of how our thoughts and emotions are affecting others, we can really be of service to others, especially to an infant. So it's just so beautiful to hear you say that. But how would you sum this up if you were talking to a friend? How would you sum up this program?
Um, I would sum it up as really making that mind, body, spirit connection, and really getting that alignment going. The alignment that should be there naturally. But sometimes, nature, nurture, our environment, our experiences make us not listen to our heart, or make us not really hear because there's too much noise. So that's how I would sum it up. For me, it would be that making that mind, body, spirit alignment.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Hearing you say that, and then saying that you made a decision that you knew this was the right path for you to start this business, this consulting business. And now you're in full alignment with mind, body, and spirit moving forward, doing what you're here to do in your life, being a mom of this beautiful young infant. I can just imagine what your future trajectory is now, having this particular type of alignment and having the tools to be able to stay in that alignment and navigate through stressful times, and to increase your productivity and just to stay totally centered. So, we also talk a lot about productivity and give you some productivity hacks to do in this program. And now that you have that alignment and those productivity hacks, What percent has your productivity increased during the time that you were in this program?
My productivity has increased considerably. Time is the most valuable resource. It took me not really having as much time as I used to realize how valuable time
Mhm.
have has been great because I technique and really get things done because sometimes I just have a half an hour to an hour to get things done. So being able to be productive in that hour and being able to and set a goal to complete that activity
Mhm.
has been big for me for my productivity. And it's something that I definitely want to get better at and keep doing.
Would you say that it's increased by 40, 50, or even more percent wise?
I would say at least about 50% increase in productivity. And it's hard to measure because I'm in a space where it's just hard to measure that. I wish I could measure it even just, it would be way more if if certain things were more aligned in my life as you understand, but it's been at least 50%. It's been awesome.
So beautiful to hear you say all this. First moving from the stress, the burnout, overwhelm, being able to be really inside your body, aligning body and mind and spirit together, and now stepping into your purpose and your passion. It's just so beautiful to watch you in this transformation and to watch you blossom and grow. And I'm just so excited to see what happens for you in the near future with your company and where you're going. And I just want to say thank you for joining this program and being so dedicated and committed and coachable. You really have had a beautiful transformation.
Thank you. It's been wonderful getting to know you and just feeling a sense of peace around you and also that support system of just group and just because that's really what I needed in my life and need in my life is just community. And this is it's one of the best benefits that I got from this was having that community and being able to tap in and share and help other people as well.
Wow. And I think that's the beauty of it. We tap in and hear what other people are going through. We get inspired and then we share and we inspire others. And it's just this energy that we're all evolving in as we're stepping into this full alignment inside of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our souls. So thank you for being part of this beautiful community. And as you well know, you're now a member of the Core Performance family for life. So happy to have you be part of this community and this family. So thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for your support.
Okay,
Thanks, Jill.
thank you.